Hello and welcome. From where I sit and watch, from my house in the rice fields of Isan, Thailand, Britain, and my dear old country England is creaking at the seams. Broken, some would say. On top of that, if you, the British taxpayers, keep throwing money at every problem without boundaries, it will not just be broken, it will crash. Furthermore, when it crashes, there will be nothing left to support those who truly need it. Now, welfare is a fine idea in principle, a safety net for the unfortunate. However, somewhere along the line it has turned into a lifestyle choice. The two-child cap was one of the few sensible measures left standing. 2 children, the state lends a hand. Beyond that, well, if you fancy building your own football team at home, do not expect the taxpayer to buy the kit. Hard-working families are already taxed to the eyeballs, juggling bills, mortgages and the rising costs of everything from bread to petrol. Yet they are asked to bankroll households that keep expanding without the means to support themselves. It is not fair, and frankly it is not sustainable. Yes, of course there are exceptions. Illness, disability, tragedy. That is what welfare is for. However, exceptions must not become the rule. Lift the cap and you invite abuse. Certain groups will see it as an opportunity, not a lifeline, and they will milk the system dry while the rest of you taxpayers foot the bill. This is not about punishing children, it is about drawing a line. Without limits, the welfare pot becomes a bottomless pit, draining resources, eroding trust and leaving nothing for those who generally cannot cope. 2 children is already generous. Beyond that, families must stand on their own 2 feet. Responsibility, not dependency, is what keeps a nation strong. Besides, if that sounds grumpy, well and good. Britain needs a bit of grumpiness right now, because without it, all you taxpayers will keep sleepwalking into collapse. Britain is not a bottomless wallet, and if all of you British taxpayers do not wise up, it will soon be an empty one. Do not take my word for it. Open your eyes and take a step back and out of your secure bubbles and look at all the problems Britain has today. I know all the possible arguments for lifting the cap and the arguments against lifting the cap. Children should not be penalised. Kids do not choose to be born, so limited support punishes them through no fault of their own. However, removing the cap is projected to cost taxpayers $3.5 billion annually, adding strain to already stretched public finances. It reduces child poverty. Families with 3+ children often miss thousands in support, pushing them below the poverty line. However, fairness to working families, many taxpayers struggle to provide for their own children without state help. It feels unfair to subsidise larger families who choose to have more kids. It supports vulnerable households, parents who lose jobs, fall ill or face crisis rely on welfare as a safety net. Cuts encourages responsibility. Critics argue family size is a choice. Parents should plan within their means rather than expecting the state to cover extra children. Long-term social benefits. Better supported children may do better in school, reducing future welfare dependency. However, there is a risk of dependency culture. Expanding benefits could discourage work, reinforcing reliance on welfare instead of encouraging self-sufficiency, which is already evident in many parts of Britain today. No doubt there will be a million more arguments, but who pays the bills? The government has no money. It is always the taxpayers who pay. With rising numbers of long-term sick and benefit claimants, critics fear the system is becoming a bottomless pit. As someone wisely said, go woke, go broke. Bye-bye.